are mere casuals. We are mere casuals.
We're rolling.
We're recording. Oh, how do we start these?
Good
Remember what we
morning.
say. Welcome
back. I'm Sam.
World of
Jesus.
Warcraft.
welcome back to Mere Casuals.
G'day.
Do we introduce ourselves every time?
I don't know.
I'm Josh/Will.
I'm Sam/Ro Laren. The hesitation.
I'm
Can you tell?
Alan/Rogue, like literally my rogue slashes.
What is your rogue's name?
Okona.
Okona, right.
That's outrageous. Okona.
Wow, someone's been drinking coffee this morning.
What number coffee is that?
42.
Sounds about right.
So, what are we going to talk about today? We barely did an outline. I wrote like 5 words on a piece of paper, and none of them are legible to anyone but me.
Well, we did want to talk about Hallow's End, and we didn't really get into
Even
it.
though Halloween event ended like 2 weeks ago.
Well, we can talk about the event after it happened and what we did.
So, do we want to start talking about Hallow's End, or do we want to start by talking about what we've been up to? Because it's actually only been a week since
Yes.
it's only been a week since we recorded, but we're pre-recording this, so it's going to be like a week before this one comes out.
So we might as well just say 2 weeks.
I've been learning how to edit stuff better, so I can actually like edit chunks of stuff out now. So anytime you say anything inappropriate, I can edit it out. It's a little sloppy still. Like I find when I try and edit something out, I'm not super precise. So I'll like end in the middle of a word. Like for example, last week when we had to edit out the P incident, in order to make it sound halfway decent, I edited out the P incident and then I inserted in an explanation of why there was a sloppy edit.
Yeah. And
So-
I'm sorry about the pea incident. They've never been my favorite vegetable.
Are you gonna make it through this, Sam?
I don't know.
Are you
Is this
gonna be
my
able to-
life? This is my life.
Well, this is your life now. You made this choice.
Welcome to your life.
So we might as well.
I need more friends.
Well, that's why we spend all of our time on the internet, so you can make more friends. You keep getting invited to our guild raids. People say hi to you when you log on sometimes. During raids, when we have open spots, people will often say things like, "Hey, Will, get your wife online," or "Will, are you going to invite your wife?" So
Like they did last night, and I was already in.
we should tell Al, because Al was not there because he doesn't show up for raids, which has been mentioned in the guild. You're the rogue that we have. You're the level 80 rogue in the guild who doesn't come to raids.
Oh man, I truly am a rogue.
You are. You're.
Can't see him.
Oh, maybe you're there and you're just stealth. Why don't you roll on any of the rogue loot then?
Be afraid of the rogue you can see.
You know-
Can't see.
Do you know
I
how
don't
many rogue weapons we've had to disenchant?
32.
No, I haven't been counting. I have no idea. I don't think it was 32 though.
How are you going to tell me if I'm right or wrong?
It was a rhetorical question.
Oh.
Do you know how many rogue weapons we've had to disenchant?
Are you just speaking in rhetoric again?
Yes.
Okay, no.
So you don't need to answer that. Several. Lots of rogue, because we don't have any rogues. Well, we have one rogue, but he never shows up to any raids.
Like there
So-
has to be more rogues in the guild.
You'd think so, but there's not. And apparently, like I was reading up and watching videos and stuff on classes that are good to play in this in this stage of Wrath of the Lich King, and rogues are one of the top DPS classes. And apparently they're fairly popular, but we just don't have any, except for you.
So from what I've been reading, apparently rogues right from the beginning went from the suckiest AoE DPS class to in Wrath being one of the best AoE DPS classes.
How is that possible? Would you like to explain the rogue mechanics of that?
Well, one day it was cold, and the rogue grabbed like 4 of his knives and started doing this. He was fanning himself. He was fan of knives, and he just started throwing his 2 weapons at multiple people.
So I have a question about that story. Why would he start fanning himself because it's cold out?
Well, because he was talking a lot, and he's full of hot air. He was just blowing that air back at his face.
You're a rogue and you're full of hot air, I think.
There you go.
So yeah, fan of knives. That's your AoE ability.
He thought you'd trip me up.
I was trying to, but you tripped yourself up by saying it was cold, so you started fanning yourself. So yeah, fan of knives. And you're trying to? So there's like a weapon combination that I saw on a video that I guess if you get is it Fell Striker?
Fell Striker.
What does it do? I never actually looked up what the weapon does.
It gives you a chance to make your next bunch of hits. Let me look it up and read it just to make it official. While I'm doing that, just talking about my fan of knives and why it's extra DPS is because there's also you can speed up your attacks with a slice and dice. There's also a blade fury, which allows you to hit an extra opponent. And apparently, if you have your blade fury up and you fan of knives, when you throw it, you have a chance of hitting an extra opponent with your fan knives as well.
So how many, like, can you hit like everything? Because I saw that apparently there are situations like in Obsidian. Can you say the place? Obsidian Sanctum.
Yes.
Yeah, I can never say it properly.
Well, you did, and that's why I was like, you're having a hard time saying sanctum because you said obsidian.
Well, no, I can't tell if I'm saying the first word properly or not.
Fell Striker. So it's going to be low DPS. Like it's a level 58 weapon for a level 80 character, but chance on hit, all attacks are guaranteed to land and will be critical strikes for the next 3 seconds.
And that's a chance on hit to trigger that?
Yes.
So if you use that on like an AoE ability, does every AoE hit have a chance to trigger that?
Yes.
Okay, I can see how that could be crazy. And I also saw that with that setup, there's like the Titan Steel spell damage one. Why does that help?
I don't know. And I saw that too, and I got to look into it, and I am starting to save up my Titan Steel again because I might have one of those made.
I know it's something to do with the speed. Like it's a slow dagger.
True. That
so
could be
I don't know how that. I've never played a rogue class level 40 something. So yeah. I don't know how that affects it, but I know it's something to do with the speed because it's hard to find a dagger with that slow of a speed.
Yes, and you probably get the bigger burst of damage with the slower speed.
So yeah, when you combine that with the Fell Striker ability with the AoE, there's a pull in the Obsidian Sanctum that if you do it a certain way, you can pull like all of the trash mobs at once and just AoE them. And there are reports, I guess, of rogues doing up to 50,000 DPS on those packs with this Fan of Knives, Blade Storm, Slice and Dice, low-level weapon, Spellcaster Dagger combo.
Yeah.
Which sounds bizarre. Maybe you don't want the daggers from KT in Nax 25. Maybe you want these other ones that are much easier to get.
Here's the thing. Easier. I've done that thing a number of times, not gotten the drop.
It's easy to do, though.
Yes, it is. Here's the thing, is what I started to say, but then I forgot what the thing was.
Do you have anything to add? I feel like you've said nothing.
I just know hunters are the worst class right now, and
hunters can be good. They're just.
I still don't know how to play it.
You try your best. That's the important thing.
I kill things.
Yeah, sometimes. Well, you went to. You do. I'm joking. You've done when you are doing your rotation.
Wait. Who was the one who kept dying during the raids last night?
You.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you were blaming me.
I'm just saying. I'm not very
well,
good.
it's just you just need to learn how to, because you're a hunter. You're used to standing in one place and just shooting and sending in your pet and stuff, right? So we were killing the dragon in Obsidian Sanctum. See, I'm getting better at saying it. And it spawns those little purple puddles on the ground that kill you very fast. But I tried to get
out of it, and I still died when
so
I ran out of it.
How are you running? Are you just backing up?
No, I hit the buttons a lot, and then I get out.
Okay. Because I think the fastest way to move out of those puddles is if you just right-click, because you know how you can right-click to move your camera and stuff in Strafe, and then hit sideways, and you just sideways run out pretty quickly.
Yeah, I have no idea what you mean. I've never done that.
You know how to run sideways?
Nope.
You don't know how to run sideways?
I can go front or back.
So when we're doing Malagos in the Eye of Eternity, and we're all up in the air on the Drakes.
Nope, that's probably why I died.
And we all have to go sideways. Are you turning and running straight and then turning back? Oh, okay.
Yep.
So you're going to want to learn how to run sideways because that makes everything a lot easier. And there's a lot of fights that there's ground pools and it's faster if you strafe. Did you look something up?
You have to learn to strafe.
Yes.
Strafing's hard.
Strafe was.
So I'm never going to get it because Al just learned it.
That's what Al was bad at as a bear tank.
No, apparently I was strafing. It's just I still, as I strafe, manage to somehow get my back to them. So it's still got some finesse to go.
Apparently that's the skill cutoff for being a mere casual, the inability to strafe effectively.
Yeah, so
But it's a learnable skill. You can do it. I know you can do it.
Yeah, okay.
Just think how
Can you
much
show
your
me how to
damage.
do it later?
Yes, I can. Just think how much your damage will
I'll
increase.
show you right now.
Once you learn how to. Oh no, we've got Al
Oh.
shuffling through the house. Well, that's helpful though. Do you see what he did?
Yeah.
Nobody listening saw what he did, but you saw how he was shuffling sideways.
Well, I understand that. I just don't know how to do it on a computer.
I'll show you how to do it later.
See, for me, I press the little right mouse button, like the side button, because that's where I have it programmed.
Oh, you use the side button? I hate using the side buttons.
You guys have more than 2 buttons?
Yeah.
You have less than you don't have.
You
more than 2
technically have
buttons?
3 buttons.
I
The wheel
do
on the
not
top of your mouse
have a
is
cool
a button.
gaming one.
You can push that. That
get
is a
one.
button as well, and I can bind something to it if you want.
That's my auto run.
Really?
Yeah.
See, here's the thing. You have stuff bound to your mouse. I have. I see people making fun of people who mouse click. They're no.
It's puzzling to me.
We like to do puzzles, Sam and I, and we just finished a puzzle and it's on the table beside where we're recording, and Al just knocked part of the puzzle off the table.
One corner.
It is enough.
We haven't solved the murder yet.
Hold on a second. How many pieces are on this?
1,000.
1,000.
So I did 1/1000th of a damage, which I quickly rectified with
Yes.
my excellent penetration.
That was last. That penetration was last episode.
Okay,
Did you see the name of the episode?
not yet. I've been out shopping.
I called it maximum penetration.
Nice.
I don't know what I'm going to call this one. We'll have to see what we talk about and see where we go with that. So, anyways, what was I
We
saying?
call it spell striker spell.
We were talking about my mouse, but then I'm
Oh,
distracted
yeah, I was saying-
by my puzzle now.
So apparently, the thing to do amongst the elite gamers is to keybind your spells and abilities, and hit like keybound abilities. I click everything.
Yes, I know.
Am I not
Yeah,
supposed
but
to
you
click
have
things?
like 1,000 buttons. I don't.
I don't have stuff bound to all of it. I just click my abilities, and I do pretty well with it.
If you're good with it, I mean, I played that way to begin, and then
Well,
people
how do
started-
you do it?
Well, I move with my mouse, and I use the numerical values on the keyboard.
So how do you strafe using just your mouse?
Okay, well, you can move. I hold the 2 buttons together,
Yeah.
and then if I want to strafe, I would hit this or this, depending which direction I wanted to go.
Oh, so you have the.
Sorry for the listeners. I would hold the 2 buttons down, and if I want to strafe left, I hit the left button, and if I want to strafe right, I hit the right button, because this and this doesn't help the people
Like
who can't
these
see what I'm
ones?
doing.
Do you have a button on the side of your mouse set just to strafe?
Yes.
Wow, never occurred to me to do that. See, I use
Can we go shopping later?
keyboards for. I don't know. Can we go shopping for mouses?
Yeah.
Check Costco. They have some good keyboard mouse combos. The
I
one
don't
I
need
have
a
is pretty
keyboard.
decent as
I
well.
just need a mouse.
You know when you can hear me click?
Yes.
So you probably want a keyboard like that.
No.
It
Yeah.
will enhance your ability.
Can I get
You'll
a better
become-
computer than my laptop then?
That's a
So-
decent gaming laptop.
So
That
basically,
that works well.
what he's saying is a mechanical keyboard is like the little blue pill of gaming. It enhances your ability.
I see where you're going with that. Yes.
Oh, sorry, let me zip up.
Oh. So yeah, so we could, if you, I didn't realize that you did that with your mouse, because I play old school click, because I've been playing games for, oh man, when did computers start being a thing? At least 20 plus years.
Tandy 1000.
No, I wasn't not that old.
No,
I've been playing computer based, like PC based video games since like 1995. How long ago was that?
That was a while ago, almost 30 years.
Because that's when I got my first home PC with Windows 95 on it and started buying
Ooh,
games.
which room did you use to store that in?
The computer room. It wasn't that was when they had normal sized desktop computers.
Did you have like a thing on the wall for each punch card?
I did, yes. I used punch cards. I played video games by punching. I guess people did that way back, but I'm not that old. I'm not
So
your
did you
age.
have your own computer when that happened, or was it a family computer where you
In
all had to?
1995, it was a family computer that was shared.
But no one else used it except for you? 'Cause
No, I had to take turns. I had to take turns with my sister. My brother was too young at the time and kind of annoying, and we just wouldn't let him in the room.
Okay.
But me and my sister had to take turns, and so this is a tangent, but I'm going to tell the story anyways. So you won't know the game, but do you know the game Daggerfall?
I've heard of it.
It's one of the first Elder Scrolls games.
Did she play that?
Kind of. I'm getting to that.
Oh.
I think I have that
So
on Steam.
I do too. I downloaded it on Steam a little while ago because I wanted to play it for like the nostalgia reasons. And you can actually get like a I don't know what it's called, like a new launcher for it that fixes a lot of the bugs that used to be in the game back in 1995 when it first came out, because they didn't know how to make video games well back then. But it was like this amazing, huge, immersive game. So I bought that with my own money, my Daggerfall.
So how old were
And
you then?
In 1995?
Yeah.
14-ish.
Okay. I didn't want to do the
14.
math. I already feel stupid asking you that.
Well,
I
I
should have
mean,
known.
I've never told you specifically how old I was in 1995 before.
Well,
I don't
I
think
know
it's
when
never
you
come
were
up in
born,
conversation.
so I could have done the math.
You could have.
If I might diverge, another little tangent. In 1995, so there's this person that's in charge of me at work.
How old were
One
you
of
in
my-
95?
One of my supervisors. In 1995, when I was getting thrown out of university, she was 3. Okay.
Well, Sam, how old were you in 1995?
5?
So we were all different ages in 1995. How about that? So anyways, what I was saying was we had this family computer in this family computer room, and I had bought this game for it, Daggerfall. I had other games, but that was my favorite. And I had to take turns with my sister. So I would play, and I would do the quests and try and advance the storyline and fight the monsters and all that stuff. I'm just looking to make sure I actually hit record. And then I would have to give her a turn. And in this game, you could buy clothing, and there were clothing stores. So she would spend the whole time she was playing her turn on it, just going from general store to general store, buying different outfits and trying them on. And eventually, she figured out the trick that I would use to rob the stores. You used to be able to, if you went to sleep in the store and then woke up in the middle of the night, you could just take everything. What is that? You may as well say it out loud now, because I don't know what you're trying to say.
Well, I'll do it later.
Al was trying to pass notes while I was talking, and I can't read.
So in the middle of the night, she was taking.
So yeah. So she'd go to sleep, and in the middle of the night, she'd wake up, and you could just take everything off of the shelves, and then wait till morning when the shopkeeper came back and just sell all his stuff back to him.
Theft by conversion.
It was stealing, yes, but the hilarious thing was then you would just turn around and sell the stuff back to the same shopkeeper you just robbed. But she would do that exclusively with clothing and what's it called? Just like vanity items and stuff. I can't remember the name for that now. It doesn't matter. So yeah, I would have to sit for like an hour watching her do this, because of course I sat and watched because I liked the game, so I wanted to be playing it, so I'd watch her do it, and I'd just watch her try on clothes in Daggerfall for an hour. Why are we talking about this?
I don't know, but you literally went.
Oh, because I've been playing games since 1995 by clicking a mouse, and it's hard to adjust to using hotkeys. I'm much slower and less effective when I try and use hotkeys.
I just love the fact that in a virtual world, you still got stuck shopping with your little sister.
Exactly.
So I was looking up. I don't know if you were done with that, but
I think I was done with that. I don't even really know where I was going with that.
Well, we did.
Oh, basically,
I just
we need to teach Sam how to play better.
Yeah. Well, we tangented so that I could take a quick look at that spell blade.
Right? Did you?
Yes, it is because it is a slower weapon. It gives the poisons a better chance to proc, and also helps with the increased damage with the proc off the Fell Striker.
So why does the slower weapon help the poisons proc?
I don't know.
Okay,
You looked
but
it up.
The important thing is that it.
Yeah, and it told me
does.
that. It didn't explain why.
I find that sometimes with Warcraft, when you look up how something works, people just assume that you know the mechanics of it, and nothing explains how it works. It just says do this because it works, and I want to know why.
Well, let's look at this logically then. If a weapon is fast and it's got poison on the end, there's a chance it's in and out too fast for the poison to apply. Where if it's slow, it gives the poison more time to seep in.
I'm sure that's exactly how that works.
Okay.
There you go. Logic wins.
Probably has nothing to do with it though. I just know. I know for like myself, I want slower weapons because a slower weapon with the same DPS has a like higher damage on the weapon, right?
Yeah.
But if you're using a spell weapon, even being slower, it probably wouldn't have a higher damage per hit, would it? Because I think it's only like a 90 DPS weapon or something, and the other stuff you'd be getting around that level would be like 150.
I think it's the combination of every one being a crit and every one having a better chance of applying more poison.
Because poisons make up a large part of your damage, don't they?
I would imagine so. But then
I never realized that about rogues. I thought poison was just like this extra that added like a tiny boost, but it's like a big thing.
Oh no, I feel like I'm in quicksand all of a sudden. When I'm fighting and I'm going, what the hell is going on? Then I look, oh, my poison wore off.
Forgot to. I did that. I know how that feels because I did that a couple times last night in Nax.
You use poison in Nax?
No, I don't, but I use seals. So yes, basically I dip my weapon in a seal. No, I have a seal spell.
Did you go clubbing last night?
That's terrible. I have a seal that I have to apply that adds, an effect and like a damage and an effect to my weapons when I attack. And a couple times I forgot to apply it before a boss fight, and I'd start attacking, and I can't use my judgment if my seal's not up. So first of all, I'm attacking, and I'm like, man, I'm not doing much damage. And then I go to hit my judgment, and nothing happens, and I'm like, what is going on? And I'm like, oh, right, I need to apply my seal.
Can you do that mid-fight or no?
Yeah, I can do it anytime I want. I actually swap seals sometimes. I use multiple seals in a fight because I have a seal that I use when I'm cleaving. So if I'm fighting if the group, because it's not usually just me soloing in Nax, I can't do that. So if we're fighting two or more things, I use my seal of command, which cleaves all my holy damage, and it does so much more damage because I get credit on the damage meter for damaging all of the things instead of just one. But if it's only a single target boss like Patchwork or something, where you just have one boss that you're sitting there hitting for 5 minutes, then I use my seal of, I forget what it's called, and it does more damage on a single target. No, it's seal of corruption, maybe?
Paladin has a seal of corruption?
Yeah, it sounds weird when I'm saying it, but I think it is. The thing is, I don't remember what everything is called. I just know exactly what it looks like on my hotbar. And this makes me sound like I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm really not that bad at the game.
It's the same thing when people say, how well do you know the city? Fine, how do you get here? It's like, oh, you go down here, where? What's the name of the street? You don't know the names of the streets, you just know what buttons to push.
Exactly. I don't know the names of my abilities, I just know where they are on my bar.
Josh also doesn't know the names of the street. He usually gets lost in town.
Well, I
get lost because I get distracted and bored while driving.
Oh, FYI, I made sure there were no cars coming before I turned down that street today.
The one-way street? That's probably for the best.
Right. So, going back to my fan of knives, with the AoE ability.
Are you a big fan of knives?
Yes. So if I apply that and run it, we never hit a big pack of things that it doesn't last long enough for me to really get a good AoE spread out. That's why I'm always on the single target things for the most time. But if we get into a good pack of things and I apply that and I do wicked damage with my fan of knives, but I also have tricks of the trade up, as soon as I do that, it's going to dump a whole load of aggro right onto the tank. Or it's going to dump a whole load of aggro right onto the healer that ticked me off.
Oh, I'm surprised that doesn't happen more often. So you know where that would be really cool and would come in handy and where you would use it a lot?
In a raid.
It would come in handy in a raid because we tend to pull packs of mobs that everybody just goes in. Like, for example, there's a paladin in our guild.
You?
Yes, I'm talking about me. Who likes when we're in Nax and we're pulling all these packs of undead stuff. I do so much damage on undead. So I want to get in there and I want to start hitting them right away, and I tend to sometimes take some aggro and die, particularly in the military quarter for some reason. I do so much damage in there. Like, I'm on the trash packs, I'm up at the top. But I also tend to die sometimes.
I totally want to have a competition with you now.
What kind of competition?
Our AoE damage on a pack.
Well, here's the thing.
And I'm going to put my tricks of trade on.
Well, start showing up for the Nax raids, because you know what, raids is at the bottom of our little mini agenda here. We might as well talk about them now, because Nax is so much fun. Like, I know you did some Nax during Classic, and Nax during Classic was a pain in the butt. I don't know, did you enjoy it at all? Like, a lot of people saw Nax Classic
you were tanking then. I don't think you were a huge fan of that.
With us not being in a top-end guild and kind of failing a lot, was it even fun?
It was fun trying to figure it out. Now, as a different person back then, a lot of stress would stay with me. So yeah, I got stressed out. It's the reason why I kind of burned out. Didn't really do much of the Burning Crusade as much as I wanted to do Burning Crusade. I'm glad I went back for Wrath. But yes, I had fun. No, I didn't have fun.
So here's the thing with Nax and with Wrath of the Lich King in general. Raiding is not stressful at all. We're not a top-end guild. We're a good guild. We do fine. We clear Nax 25 every week with minimal issues. Usually the issues we have, the issues we've had have been our priests are inexperienced at the mind control on the instructor was Vesuvius
the instructor.
fight.
Oh, I
the
thought
instructor.
it was the Grand Widow Faralina or whatever.
Well, there's mind control on that as well, but it's less complicated. Like the mind control priests aren't tanking. Like we've had, like our priests that we've had have done great, but none of them had done it before, so there was a bit of a learning curve. And on patchwork, our tanks hadn't gone all hardcore and all leveled up their gear enough, so we had some tanks dying to the hateful strikes. So we've had a couple like mini hiccups, but we've got past all of them, and we've cleared Nax 25 each week. Like we're doing fine. But the thing is, there's no stress to it. Like it's not like when we were doing back in Classic, when we were doing AQ40 and we were trying Nax and we were doing Blackwing Lair, and we'd have those fights where we'd wipe over and over again, and people were getting all snippy with each other and losing their tempers.
Cthulhu.
Cthulhu's a different. Cthulhu was,
I
yeah.
remember our other guild getting really mad.
Well, yeah, because
We got him once and then weren't able to do it again.
no, we killed him a few times, but then we hit that wall where some people left / got booted, and we never killed him again. But that got stressful, and that got touchy, and there were tempers and all kinds of stuff. Like I don't know if it's just our guild. I feel like it's not even our guild in Wrath now, the one we're in now. I think just in general, raiding's a lot less stressful. I mean, you're doing 10-man and 25-man groups, which is I don't know if you're aware of this, but less than 40. So when you have
I didn't
less
know that.
people involved,
yeah, it is.
there's less people to kind of herd together and get to follow the mechanics. It's just it's less chaotic when you have less people, and it's more fun. Like you're going through the content. It's content that we all know we can clear. We all know how to do the fights. Like even like after the first time, like none of them are that complicated. You do it once, you know the fight. Like it's easy, and then you just go do it, and you have fun, and you see what kind of numbers you can put up, and you see what loot you can get, and it's fun.
Apparently, I can get all the loot.
Yep.
You're a rogue. You wear the leather. We would have you, and we have Dave, the feral druid, and that is the extent of our leather wearing DPS classes. Like there's the odd piece that maybe a hunter might want.
I don't want odd pieces.
You just want the even pieces?
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's fair. Just make sure you add up the stats before you roll to make sure you have an odd piece, not an even piece.
Okay.
No, an even piece, not an odd piece. But it's fun. You should go. Like I think you'll be surprised just how relaxed and fun and unstressful it is.
And the thing is, as soon as he goes, no rogue stuff will drop.
That's possible, but even if no rogue stuff drops, you're still going to get 18 emblems of valor for an axe clear.
18 valor, nice.
Because there's 17. I think there's 17 bosses, and you get 2 off of KT. Either that, or there's 16 bosses, and you get 2, and you get 17 total. I know the number 17's in there somewhere, but you get lots of emblems, lots of chances for loot to drop. I mean, something's going to drop that you can use. There's the tier pieces that have multiple classes on them, and you should sign. Do you work this Friday?
Yes.
Call in sick.
How late do you work?
Friday, it's usually around 7:30.
You work until 7:30? Then go on the Discord, because they put up a poll right now. When do we want Nax to start on Friday? Sign up, vote for one of the later ones, and just come home from work and get on and go.
See, this was going to be a talking point I had to come up after your discussion, but this is the thing with Friday, Saturday raids. So Friday, they usually start pretty late.
Yes.
And
You work early.
I work Friday at 7:30, but then I'm back in at 8:45 the next morning.
8:45 is not early. I did this past
I
Friday.
almost-
This
and
past
I have to
Friday.
combine my sleep and my nap because I'm still working.
See, this past Friday, we started at 9:30. I did Nax. We finished at about 1, and I got up at 6 to go to work, and it was fine.
Yeah, I also got up at 6 when you went to work because your alarm goes off every 5 minutes.
That's how alarms work. You have to set them and let them go off.
You know what
Every
you
5
need?
minutes?
Yeah, no, it's required. You can't. The snooze. If you don't use the snooze, the alarm doesn't work. You
But
can't.
every 5 minutes.
Yes, you have to. It's required. There's rules.
You know what you need? Your own rooms.
Yeah, you can move.
Well, we have an extra bedroom. It's not
I know.
needed, but you can go sleep in it if you want.
No, I want the nice bed. That's a brand new bed we got.
Newish. But yeah, unstressful. Don't remember how we started that conversation, but go to the raids, Al. Do some raids.
We were talking about packs and getting packs of things.
Or just 10-man Nax. It's not even hard to put a 10-man Nax together, because you only need 10 people.
You only need 10 people?
Okay,
You
so
only
what's
need
the
10
difference
people for
between
10.
the 10 and the 25? Like, is
It's
it less
easier.
bosses?
Nope, same amount of bosses, but all the bosses have less health, They do a little bit less damage, and the mechanics are a little less complicated. Like, for example, the mind control one I was talking about, where the priests have to mind control stuff and use them to tank the boss. Because on a 10-man, you're likely not going to have 2 priests. There are orbs you can click on, and the tanks can click on them and mind control the mobs to tank the boss. So it's a little bit easier. And on Patchwork, he hits the tank, and then he has 1 hateful strike that he hits instead of 3 or 2 or however many it is on 25. So like everything's just a little bit easier, and it's tuned for 10 people instead of 25. And you get level, I think 213 item level gear instead of 226, I think. I might be wrong on the item levels, but the gear's just a little bit worse.
Okay.
But like for the 2 of you, you'd probably get a lot of upgrades from a 10-man Nax run, because
Am I the only hunter too for
on
that?
a
'Cause I was
10-man, you might be
yesterday.
the only hunter. You might be. Who knows?
What's left to come out?
So, okay, so that's an interesting thing to talk about, because there is, I mean, we know what's coming. So
The
the next
ICC.
raid is, Uladar is the next raid.
Uladar, I forgot about
Yes.
Uladar. Okay,
So
I knew there was
Uladar is the
another
next one to come out, so that is phase 2. Hi everyone, Josh here. I would just like to interrupt at this point to apologize in advance, as I will spend the next 10 minutes of this episode approximately pronouncing Alduar Uladar, which I know is wrong. My 2 co-hosts did not know I was wrong, but upon reflection, I was pronouncing it very wrong for this entire segment, and as I'm going back and editing it, it is so annoying to me, so I can only imagine what it's like for the rest of you. So just bear with me. Thanks. And I guess nobody's 100% sure when it's coming out, so people are trying to guess. A lot of the guesses seem to be end of December to early February range.
Really?
With mid-January being kind of a common belief.
That long for that release?
Yeah.
Oh,
So it's
nice.
going to be, you've got a couple months
Nice. We got time
to
to play.
do Nax and get some gear, level up some alts, gear some alts. Like, it's kind of nice because we've got time to enjoy this content for a while, right?
Yeah.
It's like in Classic when AQ40 came out. We were doing AQ40 for months.
All right, and then after Uldor, there's...
After Uladar, there is Trial of the Grand Crusader, I believe.
Is that the same time as Ice Crown?
No, those are separate. I think Crusader will come out, and it will be out for a couple months.
So they really stretched this out.
They're stretching it out. I think they said a year and a half was their timeline.
Yeah, because I think the Burning
For-
Crusade had less time.
It might have, and it might not. I think, you know what? I don't know, because I didn't really play much Burning Crusade, so I'm not sure. I was gonna say something, and then I realized I don't actually know what I'm talking about, so I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what the timeline was in Burning Crusade, but I know they're looking at like a year and a half ish for the run of Wrath of the Lich King. So we got Uladar, and then Trial of the Grand Crusader, and then ICC is coming out, which is the raid that a lot of people are looking forward to, because you get to go kill the Lich King.
Mm-hmm.
And then Ruby Sanctum.
Okay, I knew the Ruby Sanctum was afterwards.
Yeah, that's the last one, and I think that's just the dragon fight, right?
Yeah, I think it was kind of themed almost to lead into Cataclysm.
Yeah, it might. I don't know. It might have been. I don't know for sure.
But Ruby Sanctum is the last one. That one I remember clearly.
Yeah. So we've got a couple months, month and a half, whatever, of Nax still to go, which Nax is a lot of fun. Like, I don't think you haven't even done it yet, so you're not going to get burnt out on it. It's fun. And then Uladar seems to be, everybody has just been raving about Uladar. Like, people look forward to that raid. It's supposedly a lot of fun.
There's going to be a lot of vehicular slaughter going on there.
Is there a lot of vehicle-based combat?
Yeah, there's quite a bit.
Oh, see, I don't like the vehicle stuff.
Well, I mean, it might not be a lot in the general raid, but it's more than we've ever done.
Well, yeah, because I think Wrath is when Blizzard decided that they really liked vehicle combat. So if there's going to be a lot of vehicle combat in Uladar, then we're going to need to teach Sam how to control vehicles better.
They teach you how to
Vehicles.
Yes, I know you left the room for a minute. We were talking about Uladar, and Al was saying there's a lot of vehicle-based combat. You know how in the Malagos fight, when we get put on dragons and you have to
Yeah.
strafe to the side, but you turn and move and turn?
Yeah.
Apparently there's a lot of that stuff. Not a lot, but some. Is there a lot? I've never done Uladar.
I've done very little of it, and it was way back when, so I have no idea.
Do you know
but I
what-
believe some of the vehicles are multi-person, so you may get just a gun spot.
Oh, hunter. That'd be good for a hunter, just
Yeah.
sitting in a spot and gunning. You know what my raiding experience with Uladar was back in the day? I was briefly in a guild, and I signed up for the Uladar raid, but the raid was full, so I was on the bench, in air quotes, and I went and I sat in Storm Peaks near the Uladar zone, and I waited to see if a spot would come up, and I just waited there for a couple hours, and then I went to bed.
They didn't even acknowledge you sitting there?
No, I got credit for like being there, but I never actually got to go in. And I don't think I stuck with that because that was just near the tail end of when I was trying to play like in Raid and Wrath, and I ended up just kind of leaving that guild and doing something more casual and just doing quests and dailies and stuff. And 5-mans. I really liked the ICC 5-mans, the heroics. They were fun.
Yes.
Do you remember them?
I thought I did, but I was also realized I was thinking of the Crusade 5-mans. But I'm trying to recall the ICC 5-mans, so I take my yes.
See, I remember doing them. I don't remember the details of them, but I just remember doing them and having a lot of fun. And getting a bunch of epics.
Yes, I remember. There was one that had a bunch of bridges over big opens. Okay, yeah, I don't remember them.
Yeah.
I remember getting ninja'd for something on my shaman once.
It happens.
I think you were tanking that one, if I'm not mistaken. It might have.
Was I? Would I have been tanking? I would have been healing. I didn't tank. I was never a tank.
Was that our Alliance run?
I think we were No, we were Alliance. We were Alliance in Wrath.
Saturday morning cartoons.
Possibly, probably.
That's the only Alliance we played together before we came over to Poseid and said it's down south there.
Yes. Well, that was years in between, though.
Yes, and it was Horde for me every other time.
Okay. Yeah, I can't. We've switched back and forth a few times.
I've only ever had Alliance. I've only played Alliance in Saturday morning cartoons, and over here,
When I suggested switching?
yeah, when Sam took us over to the other side.
Sorry, I wanted to try something different.
I didn't
Yes.
sound accusatory, did I?
Yeah, a little bit.
I think
Okay,
we
try
had
harder to
had
get
some
more
fun
up
playing
over.
Alliance. We had fun playing Alliance in
Yeah, it was
Classic.
okay.
I mean, it's no different. Like it's
No,
just
it's different.
It's a
It's
little
quests.
different. I
It
don't
was,
know.
I was,
It's different
It's
zones.
a different
Yeah.
feel.
It's a different feel, but it's no different. It's the same game. You can even play the same classes now because I'm a Horde Paladin. How weird is that?
You get around.
Can
Oh,
Alliance
actually-
not be
yes.
paladins?
Alliance can be Paladins, but they have okay. So in Classic, Alliance could be Paladins, Horde could be Shamans.
Oh, okay.
Horde could not be Paladins, Alliance could not be Shamans.
Oh, okay.
It's funny because I was looking at a guide because I'm trying to put together a tanking set for my Paladin because my DPS set and my healing set are pretty much full. I've got most of the gear that I want for those, so I want a tanking set as well. So I opened up one of the guides for the tanking sets, and most of the guides, like on Icy Veins, they start out with like they suggest race, and the race that they suggest you use for Paladin for Horde is Blood Elf.
That's what you got.
And the reason that they suggest it says right under it says this is your only option. That's it. That's why they suggest that race because it's the only option. I just thought it was funny.
Yeah, no, it's.
Apparently, I'm the only one that thought it was funny.
I'm laughing.
That was a pity laugh. You don't really think it's
no, I
funny.
didn't even make a loud pity laugh. It's just all on the inside.
It's an internal pity laugh.
For those that can't see, I was just shaking my belly, bowl full of cherry
Jelly.
jelly. I'd be jelly too. Look at it.
Yes. Exactly.
Oh, man.
So we've talked about raids, which was at the end of our thing. Do we want to talk about Hallow's End now? We probably should because we've been saying for weeks we wanted to talk about the Halloween event
Yeah.
and keep not doing it because we get sidetracked and talk about other things.
Well, Hallow's End, we all decided to get the achievement, and we did.
Did you
so.
get the
Yeah, I
cheat?
got the achievement. I was with you.
I know, but did you get the whole? You got the whole thing. Okay,
I did
yeah.
one by myself, and I did one with you, and then I did one with all of us.
with the candy bucket ones.
You got 3
Yeah.
achievements?
Yeah, you had to do, wasn't it?
Where
No, I
you
just-
where you go get all the buckets? Because we did a
Was it
couple of them
3?
solo. Yeah,
Oh,
because
there's
there was
no
Outlands, there was Eastern Kingdoms, and there was Kalimdor.
Yeah.
There was no achievement for the Northrend candy buckets.
Okay, but
For some reason.
but I remember doing one by myself, one with you.
Yeah, you did Kalimdor by yourself, I think.
I don't know which one it was.
It was Kalimdor, I think,
I
because we did
Kalimdor.
By yourself?
by yourself. We all did, because we were on at the same time. We did Eastern Kingdoms. We streamed it on Twitch.
Yes.
So we went to, where did we start? Did we start in Booty Bay? Is that
started-
Eastern Kingdoms? That's Eastern Kingdoms.
That
right?
is. I think maybe Gromgal.
Oh, okay, yeah. So I think, well, we blimped into Gromgal and then we ran down to Booty Bay. No, we flew down to Booty Bay and we
still
started
grabbed the candy
because we
bucket
weren't.
Gromgal.
Yes, but we didn't want to fly from zone to zone because that's lame and boring.
Yes.
So we started in Booty Bay and we got on our Halloween broom mounts and we streamed our journey through Eastern Kingdoms on Twitch while we ran from Candy Bucket to Candy Bucket.
Flowed? What's
Flued? We flew. We We floated, but you can't actually fly in the classic zones. So we hovered barely above the ground.
Yeah.
We Flintstoneed our
brooms.
brooms.
Yeah.
Yes. So we did that, and that was kind of fun. Like I enjoyed that.
We did not avoid Alliance territory.
No, I think we deliberately ran through all the cities
Oh, I remember. Yeah.
because I kept going out of my way because I wanted to run through the Alliance cities
Yeah.
because they're no threat to
Oh,
us.
there
We
was-
were level 80.
Didn't one of them like not attack us because we were so high level that?
They all tried, but I mean they were ineffective.
Or maybe it was with you. I remember doing something with Alliance and they didn't
Red
even
Ridge?
attack. Red Ridge? No, this was. Continue. I don't know what I'm talking
I
about.
don't know. They might not have attacked. I think
I remember
a lot
a boat
of them attacked.
floating in the air, and you tried to
Oh.
get into the Alliance, and
Yeah.
they didn't. Was that you?
Yeah. So this is Ice Crown. The Ice.
Oh.
Ice Crown.
Ice Crown, yeah, the floating airships.
Yes. Which is funny. Tell you after.
Well, no, tell it right now, and then
Okay.
we'll finish our Halloween.
So that video that you started watching where I was doing the 2 quests, if you watch to the end, you'll see that as I'm going up, my fellow guild member said, "You're going on the wrong boat." I said, "No, I like to buzz them." So I hit there, and then I got netted, and then they dismounted me. Crap. So I jumped off the boat onto the wing, and I don't know what they were attacking with, kept knocking me around, but I was busy typing, going, "Yeah, I got dismounted," whatever, and they knocked me off the boat, and I died. So yes, I actually died once, much to my chagrin.
See, didn't
Well,
you land on the boat once and they didn't attack you?
They
though?
didn't attack me.
That was with me when we were doing Ice Crown together.
Okay, so what it is, the mages they have around the side
Yeah.
don't attack. If you go through the middle of the boat, the guards will still attack you and pin you down. So,
Oh.
and I may have gone by one that was padding through because I went through a safe zone and they net me, man.
And that's a long fall.
Yeah. Well, I was on the
And
wing.
your rogue ability doesn't save you from that height?
No.
See,
No.
my paladin ability does. Just
What?
bubble before I hit the ground.
No, I didn't expect.
Aren't
to be
you?
this
Oh no,
high.
you're not an engineer. I was gonna say, aren't you an engineer? Can't you just parachute? But you're a jewel crafter. It's a different thing.
Yeah, my warrior is an engineer.
My
But-
warrior's an engineer too.
Yes, we'll talk about that next time.
When
But-
we talk about alts, so we should get back to Halloween though. 'Cause
yeah,
we
so we
wanted to-
started Southern Eastern Kingdom and moved our
And
way
we
up.
yes, and we ran all the way through. We were going to do the exploration achievement as well, but I think we decided very quickly that was going to take way too long, so we kind of abandoned that idea.
That would have made it about 4 times as long.
Yeah, because as is, it took us wasn't
2
it like
hours.
almost no, it was over an hour. Was it 2 hours?
I think it was more than 2 hours.
It took a while. It was a long run. It would have taken us so long if we did
and
the
then we
whole
missed one,
exploration too.
or I missed one. I had to go back to one.
Yeah.
We all missed one. We missed Hinterlands.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, you missed Hillsbrad because you weren't paying attention.
no.
But
Yeah.
we all missed Hinterlands because we forgot about it
But
completely.
we needed something else out there anyway.
Possibly.
So I forget what it was we needed out there. Anyway,
You never did the bird the chicken escort.
I never did the chicken escort.
Have you done it now?
No.
Are you because I know you want to do the lore master. I want to do the lore master.
I've gone out there and killed a bunch of things a couple of times, but no.
Oh, you still haven't gotten the drop?
No.
You're still bitter about that, aren't you? When we were doing Hinterlands, when we were leveling up, you must have had to go to work or something, but you had to log off.
And like as soon as you
And
logged
we
off.
we were going to kill a couple more mobs. Must have been to get like an herb node or something. I don't know. And like as soon as Al logged off, the beacon dropped for us. And then he got
the
back
bitter
on.
look at the face.
He got back on. And we were like, "We'll help you. We'll help you." We stayed in the zone for so long, just killing stuff, and it never dropped. And it still hasn't to this day.
It didn't fall out of the cock-a-doodie car.
So we have no idea what that's a reference to.
It's a butchered reference to Misery.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, so to this day, me and Sam have our chicken pets, and Al does not have his chicken pet.
I'll get it. I have a chicken. I'm gonna go over on the Alliance side with whatever gold I have left there. I'm gonna buy all the pets, and we can neutral auction house them over for the achieve. We'll get that covered. Okay, so anyway.
Well, we have to. I feel like we have a bit of a competition going between the two of us for achievement points because we're both a bit of achievement hunters, and you're starting to catch up because I was way ahead, and you're getting close. Like, do you know how many achievement points you have now?
Like 22,510, I think.
Oh, it's more than that, isn't it? I thought you had like well over 2,600.
Maybe.
Because I
don't
know I just broke
I didn't realize
3,000.
this isn't a competition, so I didn't look.
Well, you know what? I make everything a competition, whether you like it or not. And every time I see you get an achievement, I see your number creeping up and up and up. And I'm like, okay, I need to go start working on achievements because I have to stay ahead of Al.
Yeah. Well, what it is, when I did the
I was trying to process his number.
His number?
22,510.
22,510.
Am I the only one who?
22,510? No,
I'm
you
one
would have
digit too
like
many.
two. You have an extra digit in
Yeah.
there.
It was okay that I couldn't process that number.
Yes, it was a weird way to say 22,510 to begin with, but it's
So-
also the wrong number. So I was confused too.
Well, I knew
just
it started
didn't
with it
think
too.
much of
But when I was doing the Kalimdor and the Outland buckets, I was also exploring.
Mhm.
And then all I had to do was go back and finish off Eastern Kingdoms. What I left in Northrend was easy. And
Northrend
I
wasn't even an achievement.
got well, the Explorer.
Right.
I got the World Explorer. I got the Tabard.
I need to work on
I got
those.
the title.
I'm trying to work on the love one. The loving
Sam's
the pets.
running around loving animals.
Yes. Well, no, do two things: love and hug and kill.
There's
that's
no. I
three.
couldn't find a hug one. I don't think there is a hug
There's
one.
a hug one.
I couldn't find it.
Well, we'll have to look.
The hug achievement that I can think of is you have to hug someone before they release in a battleground,
That's there too, but that's annoying
and I
as hell.
can't get that one to work. I haven't been able
We
to do
can't
that one.
target the dead.
Yes.
Target your dead.
But anyways, what for the stream that we did, we timed it so that we all had our other achievements done, so that we got the what's the achievement called? I can't remember now.
Hallowed be thy name.
We got the Hallowed Be Thy Name achievement and title when we finished getting the last candy bucket all together on our stream. So that was fun. Probably the most annoying / funny achievement was the Nerd Rage, because we kept going into battlegrounds to try and get, because you have to get 50. Is it 50 honorable kills?
Yeah.
While you have the Nerd Rage buff up from one of the Trick or Treat candies, and
We kept losing.
these two, I'm pointing at Sam and Al, are not good at PvP
No.
because you're not PvPers. It's not an insult. You just don't PvP.
Do I look insulted?
You did briefly. You had a twinge
Well,
when I was
well,
like,
no,
Al's not
'cause-
good at PvP, and you made a brief face, and then I saw an acknowledgement that, oh yeah, I'm really not.
Well, with the rogues, sorry Sam,
No, it's
I'll just
okay.
finish this off quickly. In the past, I've gone in as a healer, and I was pretty decent at it.
That's amazing if you can go in as a rogue healer.
in
What are
the
you
past, I was a druid with
using? Oh,
heirlooms.
okay.
No, the best reaction is from another player that gets a heal from you, and they're like, "Whoa!" as if it never happened. Sorry, Sam.
No, what I was going to say was when we were doing the PvP, you didn't come in the first time. You were doing something, and you're like, hold on, I have to do something. And then we went, Josh and
Oh,
I
yeah,
went
we-
in, we got 26 kills in the first go.
Yeah, we got.
And then when you
joined.
joined us, it was like 2 kills. And then we had to start over, and then there was like 3 kills, and then 1 kill.
Well, it's because we were doing Warsong, because that's what the weekend was, the bonus weekend. So that's where everybody was PvPing. And if you're in Warsong as like us, not a good pre-made PvP group, and you end up going up against like the pre-made groups, then you just get slaughtered over and over and over again.
I wanted to mention that also. Like, I'm pretty sure. I can't say I'm pretty sure because I wasn't there, but I feel like you two at the beginning, 26 kills, might not have faced a pre-made.
No, we won that one 3-0.
We were hitting up pre-mades. Oh, we were fighting Horde.
There was one.
You know why we were fighting pre-mades? Because you're bad at PvP, Al.
Wow, son of a gun.
No, that's not why. It's just luck. Bad luck.
Yeah, so
And
I
then
mean,
wasn't one of the leaders or whatever, somebody on our team kept telling us to like die or something? Or
Oh
what
yeah,
was,
see that's
what
the
was
most
that?
annoying thing about PvP is people like, especially on the bonus weekends, people like to go into the battlegrounds and they like a quick loss because they get the bonus still, which I find really annoying. Multiple times when we were trying to get our Nerd Rage achievement, well, I already had it, but when you two were trying to get your Nerd Rage achievement, we'd go in and then you've got somebody shouting, just stay in the graveyard, quick loss, stay in the graveyard, quick loss. And they get all mad at people that try and go out and actually PvP in the PvP battlegrounds.
I find that's not the most annoying part of it. I think the most annoying part of it is that you can't silence those people.
Yeah, it's annoying that you can't ignore people from the cross-server battlegrounds. I always try, and then I remember I can't, and I'm always so disappointed.
There's got to be an add-on for that.
Oh, there might be. I haven't looked. So we got the achievements. Oh, the Headless Horseman fight.
Okay.
Yeah, see, every time we did
Every time.
So we ended up, we did a few, because you get 1 summon per person in the group. We did the first couple, I think. We just did the 3 of us plus our tank friend, which we could do it, but it was a little slower because we were short a person, and we were always short 1 summon. So we ended up finally doing it with groups, and
We tried our best to make sure it was guildies.
yeah, we tried to do it with guildies, and when we couldn't, we did it with pugs. But it was always at most 1 or 2, depending on if our tank friend was on or not. I don't even know if I should call him our tank friend.
He doesn't even like
He prefers
tanking.
to DPS. He doesn't even like tanking. I might just take the tank spec because it's been easier to find. Like, there seems to be more of a demand for tanks than healers. But anyways, yeah, horseman fight. I should stop getting sidetracked because we're
Did
getting
you ever
close.
get your helm?
No,
I think that's where he's going.
That's where I was going to go with that, because the helm at this point, because this was
All the stuff
what is the
needed.
date now? It's the 14th today when we're recording. So this was over 2 weeks ago. So at this point, I had some raid gear and some good heroic epics and some badge gear and stuff like that, but I had this stupid blue helmet that I just could not get an upgrade for, and I was like, oh, Headless Horseman. That helmet's an upgrade. I'm going to do Horseman until I get the helmet. And I never got the helmet. It dropped.
Tanks.
It dropped once for the group of us, and our DK. I'm not going to call him our tank friend anymore. Our DK friend won it, which is fine because he needed it too. I wasn't that bitter. And,
Yeah, okay.
And
I
I
was
did
in the
another
same
group
room as you.
the day where we couldn't play together for whatever reason. I ended up just finding a
dropped
group
twice,
to do it. It
didn't
dropped
it?
3 times.
3 times, and you lost.
I lost all 3 rolls. It was, I think we had like 3 DKs, myself, a paladin, and someone who couldn't wear it. So like they're like a hunter or a druid or something. And it dropped the first time, and I got like second place on the roll, and I was like, oh well, whatever, maybe it'll drop again. It dropped the next kill, and I was like, okay, I've got a better shot now. And I got last on the roll again. I was like, well, I mean, hey, if it drops again, well, I can't lose 3 times, right? And it dropped again, and I lost. So everyone that needed it but me got one.
I just want to say, as a person looking for the plate helm, maybe next time don't join a group with 3 other plate wearers.
Well, I mean, I didn't feel like healing. So when you're queuing as a DPS or something like that, you kind of got to take what you can get.
Who was healing then if you had 3 DKs, yourself, and a hunter?
And a hunter.
It was probably a druid then. It was a class that wasn't a plate. It was
Okay.
Then it was a druid. I said a hunter or a druid or something. It was probably a druid because they would have been healing.
Oh, okay.
Also, if you have enough DPS, you don't even really need a hunter for that fight. Like there,
Healer?
I've been in group. You don't need a healer or a hunter, really. I mean, you could do it without both.
My
Yeah.
rogue would have died without a healer.
Who?
My rogue would have died without a healer.
Probably, but you can. Like if you have if you take like 5 ret paladins, you don't need a healer. Or like any combination of DK and paladin, we can heal ourselves. We don't need a healer. If we have enough DPS, we don't need a healer for a 5-man thing.
For the Headless Horseman, the first time we went in, I got all my pieces in the first shot.
Yeah, well, because the rings drop every time, so, and you only needed 1 ring. And you got, how many pets did you end up looting?
2, but the second one was an accident.
Yes.
Before you
But they
complain-
dropped often enough.
Before you complain about how often the rings are, remember, 10 fingers, 1 head.
Yeah. I got 3 usable rings from that, because the ring at that point was still a minor upgrade for my DPS set, and I got the 2 caster rings that I used on my heal set, so I did get stuff from there. But how many mounts did we see drop?
Just
Which-
the ones from our dreams.
Yeah, 0. We did it every day.
Well, unless you count the brooms.
I didn't do the last couple days
So
because
I
I
got-
finally
I got
gave
my
up.
broom.
The brooms don't count because they disappeared as soon as the event
Yeah,
ended.
I was so. It did not say that there was a time limit on it. I just hate
Didn't
that.
it?
Nope.
I didn't actually look.
It did not go into our mount tab though, so I said, okay, this is going to disappear.
But yeah, we did the horseman. I think I skipped the last 2 days because at that point I was just over it, and I had gone and bought a Titan steel helmet at that point anyways. What's that look?
It would have dropped for you 2 more
It
days.
was never going to drop. It was
You
never going to happen.
don't know that.
But you know what? Even doing Nax over and over again, I haven't even seen a helmet drop from there.
It's the helmet gods are now against
They
you
don't
for
know.
giving
I'm
up on
meant
them.
to. Why are you Scottish now?
I didn't actually try Scottish, but I'll try it now.
You suddenly turned Scottish halfway through that sentence. But yeah, we saw 0 mounts drop despite doing it almost every day. That was disappointing, but the rest of the event was fun. Is the Winter Veil the next one?
Yep.
So we have to coordinate and do the Winter Veil achievements and see if there's one that we can like stream and finish off.
You're a
On
mean
stream.
one, Mr. Grinch.
Is it that's a thing, isn't it? The
Grinch.
The Grinch.
That's the achievement.
I don't think I like the Winter Veil one. I feel like there's a lot of nonsense. Like there's a lot to it, right? There's like a lot of little things. Like you gotta like eat and bake cookies, and there's like eggnog. I think.
Ew.
And there's like winter hats. Don't you have to collect
Eggnog's
like
gross.
a hat?
I have some of that stuff. I have the eggnog recipe over on my Alliance side. We can transfer it over. We can make it now.
Yeah, we'll figure it.
should
We
start-
we should plan ahead and see.
We should start farming
does it
small
start?
eggs.
Where
What?
do they come from?
Birds.
Okay.
Classic birds though.
Oh, small eggs.
Not northern eggs. We got to get the small eggs, which are going to be. There's
And
some good
then are we
farms.
going to sell eggnog? We're going to make a ton of money selling eggnog for achievements.
Cookies,
Cookies. Sounds
maybe
good.
eggnog.
Do you do that on the auction house?
You sell them on the auction house, yes.
Oh.
But I like that they.
Because you finally you figured out the auction house. You've been selling leg enchants.
Yeah.
Did you sell the tank ones you made?
I sold one.
Well, it's still. I mean, that's the one that you sold is more than the you paid to make
I'm
two
going
of
to
them.
put the other one up.
So just relist it.
I was
So-
going to, but then I got pulled into a raid.
How long are you listing them for?
How long? 24 hours.
Why don't you just pick like a prime time, put them on for 14 hours? You spend less to list, and you just do it when people are buying instead of.
Josh didn't tell me that was an option.
I never do that. Most of the stuff I list doesn't have much of a deposit because I do a lot of farming enchanting materials and listing them. There's no deposit on those.
Yeah, see, it's all about the penny pinching. Which one of us has the most money?
Josh.
Me, and I do absolutely no penny pinching.
Oh.
I'm very loose with my money. But we should probably wrap up because we're at an hour. So what's the thing we say when we finish?
That's outrageous!
Every time.
Goodbye, everybody.